Welcome to today's explainer. Okay, so picture what's sitting on your kitchen counter right now, or what you just saw in the produce aisle at the grocery store. We're talking about the avocado. But look, this isn't just some trendy toast topping. It is actually a massive biological and linguistic mystery. We're going to explore the total paradox behind one of the most widely eaten crops in the world, because, biologically speaking, the avocado literally shouldn't even be here. It's an absolute ghost of the plant world.
Okay, let's dive into this. It's completely counterintuitive, right? Like, how can one of the most globally popular crops be something that shouldn't even exist? Well, it all comes down to a staggering biological reality. Basically, every single creature that originally evolved to eat avocados, they're extinct. Yeah, you heard that right. Every last one of them. This plant is essentially an evolutionary orphan, just kind of left behind in a world where its primary consumers simply vanished.
And this brilliantly illustrates the weirdness of it all. See, avocados originally adapted specifically to be eaten by giant prehistoric animals, creatures that no longer roam this planet. These massive beasts would literally just swallow the fruit whole and then, disperse the enormous seeds. But when those giants died out, the avocado lost its natural seed dispersers. It absolutely should have died out with them. Yet, here we are. Modern humans are eating this crop all over the globe today. So how did a fruit designed for extinct giants end up in our modern kitchens?
Well, the answer really lies in human intervention. The avocado survived that ancient extinction event entirely because of our ancestors. Ancient humans actually saw those giant extinct animals eating them back in the day. They watched this happening, realized the fruit had value, and ultimately kept the whole species alive through early cultivation. If early humans hadn't been paying attention to that megafauna, the avocado would be 100% extinct today. Oh, and as a quick aside, a really fascinating detail from our source data, while we usually just toss it in the trash, the avocado skin is actually really good for you. Who knew, right? Anyway, so the avocado survives its biological death sentence thanks to human observation. But believe it or not, that is only half the story.
Section 2, a bizarre translation, the linguistic evolution.
So we've got the biological survival story down, but now we really need to talk about the fruit's incredibly awkward cultural and linguistic journey, because the name avocado didn't just fall out of the sky. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast between its modern image and its past. Think about the aesthetic, highly marketed superfood vibe of the avocado today. Got it? Okay. Well, the Aztecs had an original term for this fruit, and it literally translates to testicle. Yeah, that is a pretty massive leap from the modern health food branding we know today. You can probably guess the naming convention was based on the shape of the fruit and, well, how it hangs from the tree. But as history pushed forward, that very literal ancient Aztec translation was definitely bound to run into some serious marketing issues.
Let's move to the timeline and see how this builds across history. The journey kicks off in the Aztec era with that original, super literal term. Then, when the Spanish arrived, they really liked the fruit but just couldn't quite pronounce the Aztec name, so they adapted it to avocado. Fast forward a bit, and English speakers encountered its bumpy, dark green exterior and decided to dub them alligator pears, which honestly, it's an incredibly descriptive name. It makes perfect sense, but alligator pears doesn't exactly sound like something you want to pay premium brunch prices for, does it? And that leads us to the final step in our timeline, the 1900s in California.
This right here was the pivotal moment for the fruit we eat today. Back in the 1900s, growers in California simply did not like the name. They recognized that trying to mass market an alligator pear was going to be a total uphill battle. So they made a deliberate, frankly brilliant choice. They officially changed the name to avocado. And it's actually amazing how effectively they managed to erase alligator pear entirely from our cultural consciousness, all just to create a fresh, appealing identity for this bizarre ancient fruit.
So the crucial point is this: the avocado is basically a masterpiece of pure luck and human engineering. It was completely dependent on extinct megafauna to spread its seeds. Then, it was miraculously saved by early human intervention when our ancestors literally watched those prehistoric beasts eating them. And finally, its modern global dominance was cemented when it was completely rebranded by 1900s Californian growers. The destiny of this globally popular crop was shaped by both sheer biological chance and highly deliberate human marketing.
Which leaves us with this final kind of mind-bending thought. If the everyday avocado, the exact thing sitting on your counter right now, is actually an evolutionary ghost rescued by ancient humans and just renamed by 20th century farmers, what other ancient foods are hiding in plain sight? Like, what other items in our grocery aisles have somehow survived extinction events and wild linguistic gymnastics just to end up on our plates? It really makes you look at your kitchen in a whole new way, doesn't it?